Hey guys, what's up? Sarah Jane. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as you can see by our shirts, today is the 26th. We read somewhere that we were, in honor of Stan Lee, we should wear these on the 26th, but we looked and his birthday is the 28th. So we might have made a bit of a mistake, but that's okay. We celebrate early, we'll celebrate again on the 28th. So Stan Lee passed recently, and as a tribute to him, we're wearing I'm wearing my Spider-Verse shirt, and Tony is wearing his Avenger shirt. We just came back from Into the Spider-Verse. It was Tony's second time watching it. It was my third. Yeah, so we haven't done a review for this yet. I figure we do one. Don't spoil anything big in case our viewers haven't seen it. Okay. But yeah, what did you think?
Amazing. That's the best way I can put it without going too much into detail. And like how most of us saw in the trailers, it looks like an actual moving comic, and that is beautiful.
Yeah, I really liked that it looked like a moving comic. Miles, they did such a good job with his character. I like that he was his own Spider-Man and he's his own person. I like how it starts too. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm the only Spider-Man. And he's just himself in the corner, just jamming out to his own music, doing his own thing. I like that they stayed true to his Dominican side. It doesn't, it's not like a, yo, I'm gangster. It's a little like that, but it's just because of where he lives in Brooklyn. And, yeah, I like that they stayed true to Miles and what he's supposed to be in the comic books.
Definitely.
I liked the style of how, if you're going to do an animated film for this particular series, you're going to need to do it in animation, and the way that they did it like a comic book was beautifully done. I loved the editing and the animation that they put into it. I haven't taken any animation classes, but just the frames and the way that they had set up the shots was really well done to make you feel what they wanted you to feel. And the music in this movie was just really well done. When you wanted to laugh and jam out with Miles, you could laugh and jam out with Miles. When you wanted to feel proud of him, you would feel proud. If you wanted to feel sad, like, the music really ties you into the film. Anything to add on that?
So far the 3 tracks that I would want to get is Home, I think it was called, and What's Up Danger.
What's Up Danger.
And unfortunately I couldn't figure out the name of it, but this one's a bit of a spoiler. Should I even say it? No?
I know which one you're talking about. I don't know what the name of it is either, but if you guys want to know, put a comment down in the description. We will let you know what it is. Because I don't want to spoil it for them either. Yeah. I know which one. I know the scene you're talking about.
Yeah.
As far as the people in it, there are 6 total, well, technically 7 total Spider-Men. 6 throughout the film. You're giving me a weird look. As he does math because he doesn't realize what I'm talking about. It's technically, so they have 6 throughout, and there's one that pops up towards the beginning and isn't really in the film for reasons that will be explained when you watch it. So I liked that they had Spider-Pig because he was the humor, he was the comedy part of it. I love Spider-Noir. It's just the darkness and He still has a humor to him, though. Spider-Noir is one of those characters.
It's the humor of the fact that he is supposed to be from a dark and dreary universe.
Yeah.
But if we read the actual comics, it really is a dark and dreary universe.
It is. It is a dark universe. It takes place in the 30s?
No, 20s. The 1920s to 30s. And as most of us know how Ben dies in that universe, we know it's a very dark and dreary universe.
Yeah, they don't get, the thing about these characters is they don't get into them a whole lot. They just have them explain who they are. I love how they put Spider-Gwen in it, because Spider-Gwen is one that has become more popular. That's not why I like her. I just like her because it's Gwen Stacy, and she's a badass.
Though I don't know about how changing her comic book name to Ghost Spider will help out. I guess it's to give her own identity, more of an own identity, instead of just being known as Spider-Woman or just Spider-Gwen.
Well, and that's the comic books. They never really bring that up in the film either.
Of course, but it's something that always been bugging me a little bit.
Yeah. Penny Parker.
From the Mangaverse.
I wasn't a big fan. I know a lot of people like her. She has a unique story. So it shows a unique story that gets spun into it. Let's see, that was Penny Parker, Peter Porker, Spider-Noir. Obviously, Peter Parker is in it. Spider-Man and Miles. Are we missing one?
No, that's really it.
I think that, yeah. So those are the main ones. It's a little bit of a spoiler, but those are the main ones that are in this movie. I honestly, the whole movie I'm watching, I'm like, where's Miguel O'Hara? Where's Spider-Knight? Spider-Knight would be hilarious in this. Where's Jessica? Where's Silk?
Heck, where's Ben Riley? Where the hell is Ben Riley?
Where's Ben Riley? Where's Spider-Punk? That would have been really interesting.
Would Kane Parker even help out in this situation? Because I think he's way too much of an angry Parker too.
I feel like there should have been more Spider-Men and women.
People.
I felt like it needed more, and just to show how vast the universe is, because it doesn't really show that. There's a scene or two that implies it, and for us who know the comics and know what it's about, like, yeah, we know exactly what it's about. But I really feel...
Though they did kind of hint at it in one particular scene.
That's what I'm saying. For us who know, they hinted at the vastness of the Spider-Verse. But for those who don't know, they might not have gotten that or picked up on it.
I mean, those of us that know of the video game would have seen exactly, saw that, and one saw where it is.
Right. I mean, just my shirt alone, this isn't even all of them. This is just a few. Like, Cosmic Spider, Spider-Gwen. This is Jessica, right?
No. That's her ward, like her new sidekick. I can't.
And then there's like Mayday Parker, and there's like Ben Riley is one. Even Otto Octavius becomes a Spider-Man at one point. Miles' Uncle Aaron becomes a Spider-Man in a universe. Like,
don't forget Amadeus Cho becomes Iron Spider-Man.
Yeah, Amadeus Cho becomes Iron Spider, which, as far as Spider-Man, what's the next one called after Homecoming?
Homecoming? Oh, the next one is called Far From Home.
After with Spider-Man Far From Home, I mean, Spider-Man now has the Iron Spider suit, and I kind of want to know, is Amadeus Cho gonna show up and
because I highly doubt he will show up.
I think it's just
it's
like
cinematic.
I feel it's an ode to him, but I don't know. I feel like it's not right for them to just give Peter the Iron Spider suit when it's destined for someone else, you know? But yeah, with all the Spider-Men, I felt it needed more. I felt it needed more Spider people. It needed more of that stuff. And I know this is the first movie. I really hope they do another one. Like, I'll watch them continuously. If they have to do like 10 hours worth of Spider-Verse, I will watch it. Like,
Though I would love to see everyone get dragged to Cosmic Spider-Man's universe just to see what he has to deal with.
yeah, Cosmic Spider-Man, the second he leaves his universe, he loses his powers for good. Like,
Well, he loses his cosmic powers.
his cosmic powers. So once he leaves his universe, when he comes back, he won't have, like, once he leaves, he loses them for good. When he comes back to his universe, he still won't have them. They're just gone. So he can't actually leave. There is an after credit scene, like after all of the credits are done.
Though
There is a final.
If you need to know where it's positioned, it's at the end.
Yeah. So they show like something like at the end of the first little thing, and then they do the rolling credits, and at the end of that there is something there. And I think it's worthwhile because it satisfied a little bit of my craving for more Spider People. But yeah, I liked this movie. I think they can do a lot more with it. They need to do a lot more with it, or I'm going to riot. Like a lot of people who are Spider fans are.
I don't know about riot. I think we're all just waiting to see how the sequel will be if they make a sequel, because you know the stereotype for sequels, they tend to not be as good as the original.
Yeah, but I mean, with how popular it was, like we went today and literally the theater was packed. Like I had a person on my side, Tony had a few people on his side. Normally when we go at the time that we went on a Wednesday, there's not a lot of people. Granted, it is the day after Christmas, but people go back to work on the day after Christmas. So I was surprised at how many people there were in the theater. Like I said, something came out on Facebook where the 26th was the Spider-Man day. And from what I understand, his birthday's on the 20th. Stanley's birthday's on the 28th instead. But it was still a good movie. It was still a good day to go. Tony and I both had off, so
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I like this movie. He likes this movie. Let's switch over to DC.
Sure, why not?
So we went and saw Aquaman this past weekend. And yes, it's DC. Yes, we're nerds. Get used to it. But I'm a huge fan of Jason Momoa in general. I love Game of Thrones. We love Game of Thrones. We found out that he was going to be Aquaman in Justice League, and we were like, now that's an Aquaman. We were like, oh gosh, Aquaman's going to be in it. It's going to be a joke. He's not going to be taken seriously. And then Jason Momoa comes out in all tats, completely like is topless, and we're just like, yeah, it's an Aquaman. Granted, all the women are like, woo, but
it still makes me laugh that there was someone that actually asked him if he can even swim, and it's like, he's Hawaiian born.
Yeah. So when he was doing the Justice League film, and he jumps into the water and swims away from Batman, when they filmed that, they were like, oh, well, we'll get some trainers in here. Do you need like floaties? We can do effects instead. And he's like, dude, I'm from Hawaii. We surf like every day.
He just looks like a fun person to hang out with.
He does. And actually, I watched a video of the late night show. It was one of those late night shows. He was on there, and he was talking about how fans come up to him all the time and want pictures, and he won't take a normal smiling picture with them. He actually will, like, a couple will come up to him, and he'll normally, like, have the girl on his side and, like, loving her or whatever, dancing with her arm around him, shoving the guy's face like this, taking the picture. And once in a while, the guy will ask to be the one being held, and the girl would be pushed to the side. But normally, it's the other way around. He'd like scoop the girl up and like kick the guy, or he has fun with it, and he's a great actor. The movie itself, though, let's talk about that.
Well, I gotta say, I was not disappointed with when they introduced a particular being in the film.
So I really liked. They started out just like telling the tale of how his parents met and how that became a thing, and it shows it in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler at all. And the movie kind of kicks off, like, I thought it would show him growing up and then get to him being Aquaman, but it actually kind of goes back and forth between, like, how he was trained and, like,
At
he's an adult and then they're going to jump in the water and he's like, oh yeah, this happened. And
at least when it
goes back to
at least when it got to the point where it was like, where it made sense as to, wait, how did he learn that? And then it showed that, you know?
Right. We find out he's never actually been to Atlantis. Like, this movie is literally his origin of being able to go to Atlantis and figuring out what is going on.
And be king.
Yeah, well, and... I mean, even in the trailers, you find out that his brother is going to war with Earth. And isn't happy, which... I mean, I guess is a really relevant film for us nowadays because our oceans are having a lot of issues with plastic right now. And this film kind of showed a little bit of that, which I liked. I liked that they actually made it relevant to us in this day and age and made this movie a current film.
Yeah. With Black Manta, though, the showing of how Black Manta came to be was basically on point. That was basically on point.
So as far as Black Manta's origin story, it's fairly accurate. Gosh, was there an after credit scene at the very end of that film? Do you remember?
I think it was a mid credit, not an after credit.
Yeah. So I know there was an after credit, but I think it was a mid credit. I think he's right. So it's beneficial to stick around for that and see it. I want to see. Since they have a new Flash, I want to see an origin story of Barry Allen and get his movie.
Or at least them trying to actually finish up the Flashpoint.
Right. And I wouldn't really mind a Cyborg film either. Like, they're the only two that haven't gotten their own films, and I think it would benefit DC to do that. Just to see where it goes.
Fighting Grid or even Brother Blood would be a very interesting take.
Yeah. But back to the film on topic. I liked how fluent they were from going from land to underwater. Like, the hair moves with everything. Everything is pretty accurate as far as what you would think would be happening.
The physics of it. Underwater.
Mm-hmm. And they do make it pretty badass as far as that goes. I really liked the CGI that they did. Very detailed, especially underwater. The action sequences underwater were massive. There was so much going on.
And then Jason wearing the classic armor. Holy cow!
Everyone's like, oh no, that's not gonna look good. No, it looked pretty decent, and
the man pulled it off. He
looked like a badass. I mean, this whole movie has badassery all around. And I feel like he found himself better in this movie, and he's established his story. Finally, in any movie or TV show that they've ever done, like the stupid spin-off on SpongeBob. Like, I mean, that's what I think about. When I think of Aquaman, I think of the spin-off with
the
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy in SpongeBob.
Well, I mean, let's kind of face it. Aquaman has been the butt of the joke for the longest time in DC. At least until they started
Jason Momoa turned that around.
Well, then again, it does help that the writers did fix that up in the New 52 and everything else too.
Yeah,
I mean, the heck, in the New 52, they had Aquaman literally command sharks to break out of the streets, like onto land and kill somebody. So they really did a number of changing his power base and everything else that way.
Yeah. They've made it more serious then. So, I mean, I like how the movies are going right now. They had a really good Wonder Woman. I was never a big fan of Batman. Never a big fan of Superman. They both seem kind of in a mannish fight, who's more manly, who's got the bigger, but I feel as far as the storyline, they've got it going fairly well for them. Justice League came out and everyone was worried, but after Wonder Woman, it was like, okay, well, let's see how this goes.
They've been improving.
Yeah. And Aquaman, after Aquaman now, I think it was a little better. Like I said, I want to see a Flash movie. I want to see a Cyborg movie for Tony's sake, because he loves Cyborg. I think if they get all of the characters established on their own and then come up with a movie where they're all together, it's going to tie things in more. It's going to bring more people in because they're going to have their favorites as well. My top two are The Flash and Aquaman. So, and that has nothing, like, I have nothing against Superman or Batman or Cyborg. Those are just my two favorites. I love the water, and I would love to go fast. Or even get the fast healing, because let's face it, I need it. I'm a bit of a klutz. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.
Take care.
Bye.